Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. What an honor to address you this afternoon. I think our presence here, it's quite encouraging to see that there are so many people in this room. And what does it say? It confirms the fact that women matter. My talk will be on gender diversity as a corporate performance driver. And my presentation will be as illustrated on the board. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go through each and every one, each and every of those points. There is a school of thought that believes that corporates with many women in leadership positions perform the best. And I must confess that I believe that that view is correct. And I'm not sure how many of you differ with that view. Because in companies where there are many females in leadership positions, the results are very clear. And there are quite a number of studies that confirms that. So before I take you through the Assupol case study that I believe you'll find interesting, and it will confirm what I've said about the company that is dominated by women, I would like to briefly share with you a study conducted by McKinsey and Company as part of their global partnership with the Women Forum for Economy and Society. The study suggests that corporates where women are mostly strongly represented at leadership level also perform best. Confirming the existence of the gender gap, as mentioned by the previous speaker, most notably in the composition of the corporate leadership structures, the McKinsey offers fact-based insights into the importance for corporates to foster and develop women in business arena so that there can be that pipeline of talent that will fill positions with higher responsibility. Building on these insights and observation, the case further highlights the challenges that women are experiencing in their career. What are the challenges that they are experiencing and how can these challenges be addressed? So it's very important for us to take note of the fact that although we are aware of these challenges, it's also very important for us to action it, because we can talk about the challenges that we have. If we don't do anything to address the situation, for the next 100 years we'll still be talking about that. The big question that is still being asked, and which I find to be very offensive, is whether women are the future of business. I mean, the question is open depending on which school of thought you belong to. I believe that the women are the current and the future for business. Without women in business, the economy is going to slow down. Without women in politics, very few things are going to happen. Women are leaders in our country. We have seen it. There are so many role models that we can look up to. I hope that the Assupol narrative will demonstrate how gender diversity can add value to the business. I just want to give you a brief history or background about Assupol. That Assupol is a life insurance company. I think most of you know Assupol through Brayu, the late Brayu. We are based in Pretoria. The company started in 1913 as a burial society, and I'm proud to say that today we are a fully fledged insurance company where we offer all range of life insurance solutions. What is very important about Assupol is the manner in which we engage with our clients. I mean, the name Assupol is synonymous with the quality of service that we are rendering to our clients. And you will see later when I share with you the statistics as to how we have performed, it will confirm how we are treating our clients. We are a black-owned company, a very proud South African black-owned company, 81% owned, and we have 38% of women who owns the business, black women in particular. Our staff complement is 86% black, of which 62% are women and 55% black women. Our financial advisors are 98% black, of which 57% are black women. Our clients are 95% black, of which 62% are black women. I mean, those of you in financial services, you'll understand how difficult it is. We're talking about financial inclusion. How do we take our services to the general insurance market? How do we penetrate the women market? And I think at Assupol, we have got a recipe for that if you look at our profile. So the statistics that I have shared with you here, it confirms that the transformation agenda is something that is not negotiable at Assupol. Otherwise, I would have failed the nation. I would have failed many people who are looking up to us as people who are in senior position. As a leader, I have got the responsibility to ensure that I create an environment for other women to flourish. I have said earlier on that I believe in the school of thought that the company that is dominated by women will tend to outperform the other companies. And you might be wondering, those of you who belong to the other school who don't believe in that school of thought might be wondering that how can a company that is mainly dominated by females and black females in particular, how is this company performing? So it's very exciting for me to share the results with you on how we have performed, and I've used the figures of the past 5 years. So I'm proud to confirm that we consider ourselves as a leader in this market. And if you look at the figures that are on the screen, you will see how much we have grown. We are listed on 4AX platform. Try to go on the platform and try to buy the Assupol shares. You won't be able to get those shares. It's hard to find because the shareholders are holding on the shares as they're getting a very good return on their investment. Over the past 5 years, we have managed to increase all measures of value creation by more than 20% annualized compound growth. In fact, we call ourselves a 20% company because of the manner in which we are growing our business. And we need to take into consideration as well the current economic status in our country. We also need to understand how highly competitive our industry is, but we managed to grow at that pace. It's also important to take note of how our new business has grown by 25%. If you compare us with our competitors, one of the largest players, they grew their new business by 10.5%. Although one can argue that it's from the lower base, but it shows that we are doing extremely well. If we look at the profits, we have grown our profits by 25% on average, from 267 million in 2013 to 846 million in 2018. The value of new business has grown on average of 35% per annum over the past 5 years, from 86 million to 388 million. In the context of the industry, this is an exceptional performance considering the current economic condition of our country, and we know quite a number of other players that were not successful to report such good results. Very important, what we're talking about today is unemployment. I think the latest report says that we have got a 29% unemployment rate. And one can argue that that figure might be higher. And I'm pleased to confirm that because the company is growing at such a rapid pace, we managed to increase our staff complement by 40%. And by doing that, we have addressed the unemployment in the country. If you look at our sales force, the financial advisors, we grew our sales force by 150%. That is unheard of in this tough economic environment. We're talking about inclusivity, and one of the areas that we focus on is to ensure that the workforce is inclusive of everyone. And there are certain areas where we identify that there are gaps. And as a strategy of the company, we believe that we have got the responsibility to look after all our stakeholders, the communities we serve, our employees, as well as the shareholders and other stakeholders as well. So the shareholders are actually number last on the queue in terms of what need to be given to them, because if you take care of the rest, the shareholders anyway are going to get what they expected. So we identify a challenge that you are all aware of unemployed graduates. Then we decided to introduce a program specifically for female graduates. We have got 65 candidates that are on that program. And what we are doing is we are training them on what is going on in the financial services industry. We are also assisting them to acquire the necessary qualifications, industry-specific qualifications. And what is more important is to expose them to the world of work. So we are very excited about that project, and we are in the process of rolling out in other provinces. In partnership with the YES program, in June this year, we appointed 196 unemployed women to assist in supporting the ECD centers that we have invested in. And most of these ladies are coming from disadvantaged background. They are from Singa, Ngutu. Those of you who knows where these areas are, you'll understand that there's very little hope for the kids that are coming from those areas. And the other learners that we have appointed are from Nelmapias, that is an informal settlement in Pretoria. It is very encouraging, as I have said, that we have grown, and today we cover more than 4 million lives. And that shows how good the company is doing. And it also shows that if we do well, we are then in a position to can share with the communities, with the staff members. We can also contribute in addressing the challenges that our country is faced with. Because of our track record, we have received a number of accolades. The one is the Deloitte Best Company to Work For. We have got a gold status. That confirms that our employees are happy. We also have been recognized for the 4th time in consecutive years by an organization in London that is called the Capital Finance International as the best insurer in Africa. What is important is that in their assessment, the panel of judges particularly commended the manner in which we engage with our clients, the reputation that we have in the market, and the ability for us to deliver the products that are relevant, the products that are affordable to the market. Because we have done so well, we believe in plowing back to the communities, because without the support of the respective communities, we wouldn't have made it. And that is the reason why it's very pleasing that we have significantly invested in a number of CSI initiatives. I'll just mention 2 of those initiatives. The first one is the early childhood development. I think we all know that in South Africa, we have got a problem with our schooling system. And we cannot blame government or expect government to solve the problem alone. We have got an obligation to do that. So what we have done, we are supporting 100 ECD centers in Nelmapias and in KwaZulu-Natal. Our focus is in rural areas because those people are not getting enough support from business. And those are small businesses because the owners of those ECD centers, they are making a living by being their mothers. So we are supporting 100 black women-owned businesses. In partnership with the Department of Education, we have committed to assist in solving the sanitation problem that our schools have. So we have committed to build sanitation facilities in rural areas for 100 schools in 5 years. And I'm pleased to inform you that we have completed building facilities for 10 schools and will soon be handing over those schools to the Department of Education. So it surely wouldn't have been possible if we didn't perform that well. And this is actually a case study that confirms that there is a strong correlation between the workforce, the diversity of the workforce, as well as the corporate performance. I also would like to share with you some of the outcome of the researches that have been done on best practices. It is a persistent reality that there are very few women in business, especially in leadership roles, as the previous speaker has said. While for many years, gender debate and discussions has been a matter of equity and social justice. But today, I think we all agree that it is business imperative to address those issues, to ensure that we provide opportunities for women to occupy senior roles in their respective organization. What I shall say about equity and women in leadership is therefore in the context of saying that all of us do benefit when women lead, be it in business or in community, because women tend to look at everyone as we are responsible for taking care of everybody in our families. A study that has been conducted by McKinsey Global, focusing on global economic benefit of gender parity, illuminate the fact that gender equality and gender equity make business sense and economic sense. The most instructive study in this regard is the September 2015 McKinsey report entitled The Power of Parity, and how advancing women equality can add $12 trillion to the global growth. The study makes the observation that narrowing the global gender labor and pay gap will not only bring about social justice in the broader sense, but will also make a positive contribution to the whole of humankind in terms of doubling the contribution in terms of GDP between 2014 and 2025. As things stand, change is happening, but it's happening at a very slow pace. And I think the people that are here today, you are in a position where you can actually assist in fast-tracking the change. It's actually very disturbing if you look at the different type of researches that are being done, that about women are paid 73% lesser than men. Can you just for a while imagine that you start waking at 8 o'clock in the morning and your male counterparts start waking at 8 o'clock as well, but you'll only start getting paid from 11 o'clock. That is not acceptable, and we need to fix that. We certainly need to do that. According to the PwC Executive Director's 2019 Trends report on practice and remuneration, it says that 96.6% of all CEOs on the JSE, listed companies are male. 87% of CFOs are male, and 91% of non-executive directors are male. Can you just take a moment and think about those numbers? Is it something that needs to be supported, or are we in a position to can address that? And we need to start addressing it now. Closing the gender gap and the representation by just 10% in South Africa, according to the research, could deliver an additional 3.2% in GDP growth and 6.5% reduction in the number of unemployment and job seekers. Can you just imagine how powerful that is? But the research confirms that women are still underpaid and we are underrepresented. Why is this happening, and what are the challenges that we are facing as women? And I would like to quickly highlight the 4 barriers that have been identified by one of the studies by McKinsey. The first one is that the model remains predominantly male-orientated. And as women, we spend most of our time focusing on family issues because we do have that responsibility of taking care of the family. Because the family life is still centered around us as women, and it's quite a challenge to be a working mother. The second barrier is that as women, we haven't mastered the male cause to rise through the ranks. I mean, Shelley made it very clear that, she used to accept any challenge. She accepted whatever assignment was given to her. But I think we don't give credit to ourselves enough, and we always think that we are not good enough for the position, which is not true. The third one is that the women, we find it hard to find a mentor. And I can tell you that if we reach out, there are so many people there that are interested to mentor others. And it's very important that you need to get a mentor who will be able to take you and assist you through the journey, because it's not easy. You need someone, you need a guide, someone who is going to assist you. And the fourth barrier is that women tend to opt out of their careers. I think that is not news. We all know about it, because at times where family circumstances actually push you to leave your employment in order to raise the family. So it's very important for us to look at what is it that can be done. And you might be wondering that what have we done at Assupol to try and address the challenge. I think the first thing that I would like to emphasize is role modeling. It's very important that you associate yourself with people. You need to look up to someone so that you can actually have hope that you are going to do something that is going to be helpful for your career. The second point is networking. I think we do have a shortcoming as women that we don't go, when we knock off, you rush home, you don't have an opportunity to go to the bar and socialize with other people. And what we have done at Assupol, we have identified that gap. We have established a golf club where the women will be able to go to the golf course. We have appointed a golf pro who is assisting them, and the ladies seems to be enjoying their life at the golf course. The next point is the coaching and mentoring. It's very important that we focus on that. So we do have internal programs that specifically address those type of needs, but we also have a number of private coaches that are actually supporting our staff members in terms of growth. Then the professional growth and leadership development, I think Shelley has covered it, that is very important, that you need to be current, you need to encourage your people to develop themselves, and we do have a bursary scheme internally where we encourage our people to to develop themselves. And what is also important is that we've identified the critical roles that are mainly dominated by men, and we expose the women in those roles and make sure that they get the necessary training and support in order for them not only to perform support functions, so that they can get involved in technical positions as well. And it's very important to ensure that your HR processes are actually in line with the strategy, because if there's a misalignment, you are not going to achieve your objective. So having said that, I want you to silently ask yourself a question while you are seated there, the following questions. Ask yourself if you have done enough in the past year to advance the gender diversity. Are you so comfortable where you are up there that you forgot about the people that are looking up to you? What have you done to ensure that the workplace is conducive for women to flourish? Are we just wasting our resources to attend conferences like this and we go back home and we fail to implement what we have learned? And what is our legacy in enabling and empowering women to grow and progress? I think in closing, it's very important that you need to have a mission. You need to have a vision, and you need to have strong values that will support your mission, vision, and in order for you to realize your objective. In closing, I would like to emphasize the importance of having someone that can take you by hand and guide you, and you mustn't feel that you are alone. You need to reach out and don't wait for people to approach you. So it's our responsibility. I'm assuming that most of the people that are here are senior people, and it's our responsibility to ensure that we give back by supporting the upcoming talents, because they are looking up to us. We mustn't be selfish. Let's do something to address the challenge that we have. I would like to leave you with the following message: that as a collective, we are powerful beyond measure. The tools of addressing the gender challenges are in our hands. And how are we going to be judged by the future generation? Will we have done enough to address the challenges? If the answer is no, we need to go back to our respective workplace and try to address the challenges that are out there. Thank you.